I told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I'm in Cali every week. I go hard. Bro said he got sour, need that whole yard. I'm chasing turkey bag, chasing gold yard. Tell us down, we won't go far.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner here on 103.5 WNHHLP, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com, New Haven Independent, or go to our Facebook page and look us up, and you can see all the great shows we have streaming live here on WNHHLP. This is the Cannabis Corner, and I am Joe LaChance, Joe the Weed Guy here. I'm here solo right now. Apparently my co-host, Uncle Lou, is on the way, and we'll be talking to him in a minute. But right now I just wanted to go over a couple things that happened over the last week since we were here. Obviously, we had the election, and we have a new governor here in the state of Connecticut. Harry, what do you think of our new governor?
Well, just let me start with this. Facebook is down.
Facebook is down.
Not us. Facebook is down. You can't get to their page for some reason.
Really? But we're still trying to broadcast.
Oh, we're streaming. We're streaming.
Okay.
So if you can't catch us on Facebook, go to WNHHLP on Twitter, at WNHHLP on Twitter, or on Periscope. Same thing, or on YouTube.
Okay.
Go to New Haven Independent.
Oh, wow. So Facebook
there.
is down right now. Maybe
you can find us on Twitch.
That's right. That's right. We're all over the place. That's right. So, yeah. So what do you think of our new governor, Harry?
I didn't vote for him. Personally, I think he's going to tax us to death.
Right.
You know,
right.
even though they won't call it a tax, they'll say it's tolls, it's this or that. You'll be taxed.
Right. Right. Well, I saw a post on the internet the other day of somebody actually showed the signs that are already made up for tolls here in Connecticut. They were driving down the highway. Now, they're probably being transported to another state, but I just thought it was funny. Yeah, no, you know, we don't know what we're in for now. He did say he would legalize marijuana, and I think a lot of that is what pushed him over the edge. I always said from the start, had Bob Stefanowski possibly softened his approach on marijuana a little bit, he might have got more votes. Because I do believe there were some people who wanted to vote for him, but because he said he wouldn't do the legalized marijuana, they didn't. And unfortunately, some people, you know, the trade-off is like, well, I'd rather have the legal weed and eat, you know, get the tolls. You know what I mean? The trade-off was enough for them. So I really think had Bob softened his stance a little bit, he might have gathered some of those votes. But, you know, that was his mistake.
Well, I mean, geez, I mean, the marijuana thing, isn't it legislative?
It's legislative anyway.
I mean, it isn't like the governor's going to decide on his own.
No, and the House, now the Dems took control of the House.
Right.
So they're obviously going to push it through again this year, and it's going to end up on his desk. Because now there is even more Dems than there were last year.
You have somebody calling in?
Yes. No. Is she calling in now?
I think so.
Who's on the line?
Hey, it's Uncle Lou.
How far are you away?
I'm not far away, guys. I was live on Instagram as well.
Oh.
So, along with that, I listened in, but I love the topic at hand, and I love having Harry weigh in as well. I'm not far, but had Stefanowski supported legalization, he would have gotten my vote. I did vote for Ned, and a lot of it had to do with his softer stance on cannabis.
See?
And cannabis was that deciding factor for myself, you know.
So, but you're a one-issue voter, aren't you?
I am 100% a one-issue voter. As long as if you legalize cannabis, that's the one that got it for me.
Yeah, you see, I think that's what happened. You're right, Joe. I think that's what happened. There was a lot of people who were just one-issue voters.
And had he changed that one issue, he would have gotten the win. I said it from the start.
And he did take a lot of the one-issue voters on tolls. If tolls was your one-issue vote, he won those.
That's
Democrat,
right.
Republican, Liberal, it didn't matter because Ned said he was enacting tolls. So if you were an anti-toll person, you were not voting that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So
well, kind of, right? What if you're anti-tolls but pro-marijuana? Where do you fall?
Then you have to make
I'm
a
okay
choice.
with
We had to
tolls.
make a
I'll vote with
choice.
tolls.
That's what I was trying to say. We had to make a choice. The marijuana people had to make a choice. The toll people, there wasn't a choice.
Yeah.
Marijuana people had to make a choice. The people who are pro-marijuana and against tolls had to make a choice. What's more important to us? Were we willing to sacrifice the tolls for the marijuana? And I'm telling you, that's what happened. If that choice didn't need to be made, he would have won.
But for some people, that choice was as simple as, you know how many people are going through some type of legal case? That legalization would just automatically help their legal case. It kind of becomes not even a choice. Yeah, I'll suffer tolls if I'm not going to face jail time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very, very true. So,
well, hopefully at least we get marijuana out of this, right?
But let's figure out how he's going to do it. You know what I mean?
Who knows? You know, Malloy promised legalization too, so.
That's right. So what time you think you're going to be here, Lou?
A couple moments. I'm getting off exit 4, coming down exit 4 now, sir. So
All right.
You got shortly.
All right. I think Kebra's calling in a minute.
Yes, she is. And we'll be together when Kara calls, sir.
All right. Very cool. That's all I'm worried about.
All right,
Apparently, Facebook is down. Kara just texted me and said Facebook is down right now.
Facebook is down. I don't know. I guess the Russians.
Zuckerberg.
Wow. So, yeah, we're waiting on Kebra to call, and she'll probably be on the phone when you get in here.
All right. He's off.
All right. So, I don't know where she is. I just texted her to call. So,
it's interesting that, Facebook has just taken, Facebook isn't down too often.
No.
And they're completely down right now.
You can't even get on now?
You can't get on. It says we're having issues.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So we're broadcasting live though. People don't realize this. If you live in New Haven and the surrounding areas, and I've gotten it right to the East Haven border. I've been listening in the car, and I've gotten 103.5 right to the East Haven border. So we do cover pretty much.
Well, and like I said, if you want to look at Joe, if you want to take a look at Joe right now,
yeah,
you could go to Twitter. We're live on Twitter. I'm looking at us right now. So
we are on Twitter. All right,
Twitter.
Hold on. I'm trying to text Kebra and get her in. But anyway, yeah, because she had a grand opening this weekend. Kebra's very busy. She's up in her Hartford office today because they're doing a special Veterans Day thing where she's actually giving out free referrals to veterans. So if you're a veteran and you want to get your medical marijuana card, Kebra up in Hartford right now is giving away free referrals for veterans for today only.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and if you can't, so that's a nice thing she's doing. And if you bring a veteran, you get 25% off.
So what do you think? Legalizing the marijuana, right?
Yes.
How long you think before insurance is covering?
Well, that's the medical issue. I think what you're going to see is a split. What you're going to see is the legal recreational marijuana industry, and you're going to see the medical industry become much more defined and refined. And unfortunately, it is going to be taken over by big pharma. So right now, the medical industry is kind of loose. I think what will happen as recreation starts to grow, the medical industry will become more really medical. And it will be covered by insurance like this Epidiolex. I think you're going to see more medicines like this Epidiolex. I think you're going to see doctors who are starting to specialize in cannabis treatments. It's going to open up a whole new thing, probably just like it did when they discovered the poppy plant. and opioids. And once they get into this plant and dig into it, they're going to realize the amount of uses it has.
And that'll bring the price down, though, right?
Well, no, because it'll...
Not initially, but...
Do you know what they're charging for that Epidiolex, that drug? It's like $32,000 a year.
Really?
You can go out and buy CBD oil for 40
you
bucks.
might as well.
You know, exactly right. So, yeah, no, that the problem is when you get medical and big pharma involved and insurance starts covering it, they start to dictate the prices and dictate what medicines you can get, right? You know how that all works.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get marijuana involved in that whole game. Well, oh, this brand isn't covered, but this brand is, and that one isn't, and you can't get this, but you got to use this. It's really a pain. You know, I don't know how many people are suffering because they can't get the right medicine because their insurance doesn't cover it.
Yeah, I was listening to some guy who's in the hemp oil business talking about that the pharmaceutical industry is actually trying to co-opt the hemp industry and actually mix it with pharmaceutical, you know, with whatever, the painkillers and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
that's what they're trying to do.
So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, right? So they don't want to get rid of the drug business.
No, they want to incorporate it into the
drug business. That's insane.
They're fighting it now, but if you're going to see pharmaceutical companies, as I probably think they have investment in poppy fields.
Yeah,
I think they're going to have investment in hemp and marijuana fields. I think you're going to see, and you know who they're going to go to help them grow that marijuana, don't you? You're going to help it grow faster and make new strains, don't you? Good old Monsanto, you know, and Bayer. That's the big,
yeah. You can just see some Bayer fields all over the place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I can just imagine that.
Exactly right, and that's where they're going to make the pharmaceutical. So you're going to see that soon. Within the next 20 years, the industries are really going to separate, and the medical will become much more medical. And I'll tell you, you know, that's not a bad thing.
Well, it's expensive as it is.
Right.
You know, because, you know, I use the cannabis.
And with it not being covered, right. We both know as medical patients, right? Right.
And not being covered, we take a good hit.
Yeah, we do. And we are using it in substitution for maybe a pharmaceutical that they might give us.
Well, definitely. I'm definitely using it.
Me too. They want to give me Humira. I don't want Humira. You know, who needs it?
So it really sucks because there's just no way to get it covered right now, you know?
No, not in the way the medical industry is set up now. The only way to get it covered is to have drugs like that Epidiolex. There's no way the insurance industry is going to cover flour and let you go buy. No way. It's going to have to be medical form stuff before it. Which, you know, we're a long way off from that. We still got But speaking of that, while we wait for Kebra to call in, not only in Connecticut, marijuana scored big in some other states. I don't know if you saw what happened in Florida. They voted in the right for voting privileges to felonies, nonviolent felons.
Oh, yeah.
So they restored all their voting privileges.
I think 1.5 million.
Yeah. 1.5 million people. Yeah. So now that's a whole nother group of voters that can vote next time.
That Republicans take a big hit. Imagine
because
they're just trying to squeak out the election right now.
Yeah.
So imagine 1 million more people coming out of jail
from incarceration, right? Who were probably put in there by the Rick Scott. You're right. They're in big trouble next time. We'll see how they make out this time. But then Michigan, the first ever Midwestern state to legalize cannabis recreationally, it's now the 10th state. So 1/5 of America now has legal recreational marijuana. And
where you put Connecticut on the list? Are they going to be like the 11th state?
No, I don't know that we'll be the 11th, but maybe we'll be in the top 20.
You think so?
I think that would be a good goal. We should be in one of the top 20 states to legalize
next 2 years, next year.
Well, Ned says he's going to push it right through this year, right through. But I have a feeling Ned's version of legalization might be, you know, for the rich, where you have to have a lot of money to get into the game. I just have a feeling about that. But then Missouri approved medical marijuana. and North Dakota approved medical marijuana. So we now have 31 states that have a medical marijuana program.
North Dakota.
Yeah, North Dakota. Can you believe that?
That's a big one then.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Wait, Missouri and Utah did the medical.
Well, Utah still same thing.
Yeah.
That's a conservative.
North Dakota actually had recreational marijuana up on the back, but it didn't work up on the ballot. It didn't work. It didn't go through. So North Dakota was the one failure. Out of the 4 states that put marijuana bills, North Dakota was the one failure. So that's not too bad. That's like Arizona was in 2016. They failed as well. So, it's going to happen. Certain states just aren't ready for it.
Well, it's interesting how over there in Utah, how they're going to implement.
Yeah, that with all the Mormons, you mean?
Yeah.
They may end up being the big farmers of it. Who knows? They are farming.
That's true.
If they're smart, I don't know what their beliefs are about marijuana. I don't know much about that religion, but I know they farm and they really like to live off the land and grow their own stuff. So maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll be big marijuana farmers out there. Get those big families they got working. So I don't know what happened to Kebra. So we're just going to keep talking here while we wait for Lou. But there's a few other things going on in the state besides what happened in the election. Well, also, let's talk about this. This is something you would probably know about, Harry. Jeff Sessions, since last week, is no longer our attorney general. We were in here last Monday, and he was, and now he's not. And what? Jeff Sessions, as you know, has been the enemy of marijuana. He's gone.
Good old Jeffy, right?
Yeah.
Now, even though he's been the enemy of marijuana, obviously Trump told him not to enforce
He
anything.
hasn't done much.
He hasn't done anything.
It's all symbolic, pretty much.
Yeah,
what he did.
But he was definitely the enemy of it.
Yes.
Because he saw it as something evil.
Right.
So it's a mixed bag, right?
It is a mixed bag because right now they have this guy in there, but he's only temporary.
Right.
And from what I understand, Chris Christie is on the list.
He's on the list, and Chris Christie is...
Now, I didn't even know he was a lawyer.
Oh yeah, Chris Christie was a big
Oh yeah, you're right, a prosecutor.
A federal prosecutor. He and a tough one too.
Yeah.
But Chris Christie as governor was for legalizing.
No,
right?
he begrudgingly put the medical in because the legislator approved it. But he's as bad as Jeff Sessions.
Is he?
He has come out big time against medical marijuana.
I figure since he signed the medical portion of it into...
Yeah, but they're going to do recreational this year. Murphy wants recreational. Boom, boom. Both them and New York. Cuomo's pushing recreational through New York too. This is why we have to, get off the that
we're going to be surrounded by
we're going to be surrounded by legal states, and they're going to be taking all the residents are going to be moving out and traveling over the borders and buying marijuana when we could be collecting that tax when we desperately need money.
Desperately. And to get it, this is easy revenue.
Yeah.
Easy revenue.
Look what Colorado's done with the money that they made. They've fixed roads, they have put money into education, and it's only just beginning. It's only a few years in. Imagine 20 years down the road how prosperous that place is going to be.
Instead, Connecticut wants to give you more car taxes.
I'm told.
More property taxes.
Yeah.
Tolls.
Yeah. It seems like at one point, this state just flipped from being a prosperous revenue-generating state to just tax. And that seems to be the only way that the people in charge know how to
It is the only way they know revenue. How. Well, that's the one hope about Lamont, right? He's a business guy. So hopefully he starts thinking from the business point of view and how you open up the markets.
Right.
Because, we've been doing the last, 10 years?
Even before Malloy.
Yeah, the last 10 years, it's just been hurting the middle class, hurting the people who love Connecticut, but are choosing to leave Connecticut.
Right.
You know, so I know people from Florida who lived here, and they love Connecticut, but they would never come back.
My brother is one of them. My brother left here a while ago. My cousins. I'd like to leave myself, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, the way it is.
But I put in so much time
That's
to
the thing,
this
right?
fight here for legalization that I don't want to leave until I've seen it through all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But even then, how much am I going to benefit once it gets legalized? We'll have to see. Or is it going to be just
we'll
people
see.
with deep pockets, which I certainly don't have,
Yeah, we'll see if that's where Lamont is going. Then it's just gonna hurt us.
my big break in the marijuana industry will be trimming buds.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
that's the thing. I mean, I have young nieces and everything who are in college and working, but working towards their nursing degrees and all that. But they're planning on graduating and bouncing out of here because they don't like the direction of the state.
that's what people don't realize. People are going to college here, and maybe for those 4 years they're spending money here and living here.
Yeah.
But they're leaving. They're not staying here and starting businesses like they used to. They are certainly not. They're coming in here, getting that education because they'll go to Yale, get a good education. Even UNA is just halfway decent. There's a lot of decent schools in Connecticut. And then they'll get the heck out. And that's it.
Yeah, it's just hard to live here.
But
I mean,
growing up
especially
here,
if you're one of the people that they're gonna jump on your back to bleed you for the rest of your life, right? Because you're a worker.
Because you're a regular working average person. You know that you're the one who's going to get screwed. You're not rich. Seems like in this state, the rich people get all the breaks. And we've been catering to them for too long. And they haven't even stayed and been loyal. A lot of them have left when things got tough. So it's, I don't know what happened to Kebra. She's probably not near her phone. But we have another guest calling in a couple minutes anyway. It is Kara Crab Burnham. She should be calling by now, actually.
I wonder what's going on.
Maybe
right?
she's not calling because she thinks we're off the air.
Well, the Dow just plunged 500 points.
Really?
I wonder if that has anything to do with Facebook going down.
Really?
Yeah.
The Dow just plunged 500 points?
Yeah. Don't panic, people. We're still over 25,000, right? So we're good. All right, we got the call coming in.
Oh, we do. Okay. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, this is Kara.
Hey, Kara. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Kara, on the line, we have Kara Crab Burnham, and I'm going to read Kara Crab Burnham's bio right now. Kara Crab Burnham has been involved as a cannabis advocate and policy reformer since 2009 at Emerson College SSDP. She volunteered on the board of MassCan for several years and was the dean of faculty and program designer for the first cannabis vocational training school in New England. Kara has developed and taught classes at Fremont College in California for their bachelor's program. She is also co-founder of Elevate Northeast, and as director of education, she organizes multi-week seminars around the various aspects of the cannabis industry, job painting programs, and networking and social functions. She became involved with cannabis after losing her job during the recession in 2008, and it has been a priority that she support this industry and prepare people for positions that they wouldn't have experience with and have been able to do through this workforce training. Kara began working for EVO Labs in Massachusetts in February of 2008 as the client services representative. Welcome to the show, Kara. I am here alone today. Both.
Oh.
Yes. For some reason.
It's you and me.
Yes, it's just you and me right now. And for those of you who don't know, Kara and I have a bit of a history. Oh, well, here comes Uncle Lou right now walking in the door. But Kara and I have a bit of a history. We worked together at that first vocational training school, which was entitled the Northeastern Institute of Cannabis, for about 3 years together, I would say. Right, Kara?
Yeah, we did. About 3 years.
Yeah.
Good time.
It was a great experience with a tragic ending, I have to say. Realistic. You know what I'm saying? It was a great story with a tragic ending. I think we made history up there. I think we did something nobody else was doing. We helped a ton of people get careers started, and as well as really helped build the foundation of the industry up there in Massachusetts. And for that,
yeah, we really did. It was a good time.
Yeah, for that we really should be proud of what was accomplished up there. And everything has its time, and all things must pass, and now we're here.
Now we're here. Yeah. So I had never been in the education world prior to Northeastern Institute of Cannabis. So I think through that project I really found my calling, because I have a passion for it now.
Well, yeah, and you did develop that. I noticed that up there. And it's true. You always put your heart and soul into the curriculum. And I notice now you're working with Elevate Northeast as their director of education. So you've carried the torch, and you are continuing to do educational up there. Tell us about the types of seminars that you guys are doing, and what kind of things do you have going on for this year and for 2019?
So as the director of education, it's my responsibility to design and implement niche, but extremely involved programming for the organization. So at the Institute of Cannabis, what we did is, we had the 50-hour program that was really broad and basic. So if you didn't know anything about cannabis, by the time you completed that program, you knew just about everything that you needed for foundation in all the various areas of the industry.
Right.
So with Elevate, it's a little different. Now we do it, or I'm doing it in a way that, you get a foundational class, in the first of the 5 weeks. You get like a foundational class that'll go over the basics and what you need to know about the subject. But the next 3 and 4 classes will be very heavily concentrated information that is very specific to either areas of the industry or specific jobs. So we just did a business program. Our first one we launched was a business program. So I did a basics about the history of cannabis industry, the civics behind it, coming out of prohibition, and how the industry has developed. And then the next 3 weeks we had Charles Smith go over extensively the application process here in Massachusetts. Kim Napoli discussed the operational standards for a vertically integrated dispensary. And we had Scott Moskell of Burns & Levinson go into detail on fundraising, finding capital, how to manage resources, and sort of, we talked a lot about 280E. So we did those 3 classes. And on the final class, we brought in a panel of experts, and the students that had been attending the last 4 weeks were able to ask questions about the subject matter to people who have been through every possible experience you can have trying to get a cannabis startup, launched and successful and operational. And I think each of the people, or several of the people on the panel, had been in businesses where they have loved and lost, and are currently working in some sort of position or ownership position of something that they love, that they see is going to continue to grow. So, and I think that having people from the cannabis space able to say, I tried this didn't work, or I did it this way, or this was a mistake I made, or this was something I did that totally worked out, or please always remember this rule. That's probably the most valuable thing that the students are going to be able to take out of the 5-week program is, first they get their foundation, they get their core curriculum, and then they really get to dive into how to implement that with experts.
Right. So it's more hands-on, where they're actually learning how to fill out applications and what exactly it takes to put a business together. When they're done with this, they will probably be able to start their own business, correct?
That would be the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was just the first one. So the next one I intend to launch is going to be on cultivation. And I'm hoping to be able to have that up around January, February, the next 5-week program. And I'm very, very, very much hoping that I'm able to find a host who will allow me to have live plants, because as you know,
yes,
working at the Institute of Cannabis, we were never allowed to have plants. It was a huge no-no for our landlord and the city of Natick and the Department of Professional Licensure. They're all very against this. So, being able to offer classes in a different way, maybe not with the without the structure that is supplied to or encouraged by Department of Professional Licensure, or having a license or having a registration code that you're a educational facility through the state, but being able to offer classes where we're presenting the same information and the same knowledge, but have the ability to do it however we want, to have plants, to have people touch it. I mean, you have to be 21. It has to be, it can't be in front of the public. You can't drive after consuming. Basics, obviously, but it wouldn't be illegal to have people to a private residence in order to teach a class about trimming and have a bunch of stuff to trim.
Very true. Very true. That could be a good way around it. And you could also maybe use high CBD industrial hemp plants that don't have THC in them, that are legal anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they grow the same way.
Well, it's legal in Connecticut for us to have.
Yes.
Cannabis plants around adults. That's totally legal.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So now a lot of people don't know, Kara, that you were very instrumental in helping to get this recreational legalization put through MassCann and the efforts that you guys did. Now that you guys have gotten over the hump and actually gotten the law passed and things are starting to move, how do you feel it's going up there? And what are the hurdles you guys have encountered? Everybody thinks, oh, wow, Massachusetts got legal weed. Yay, yay, yay. Didn't the hard work really start after that?
Well, okay, I'm going to start with instrumental. Seems a little gratuitous, but thank you. I would say that no. I would say that, marching in the rain and the snow and the sleet and the wind and the cold of Boston for, the 30 years that people like Bill Downing and Steve Epstein and Mike Cann and Keith Saunders, the decades that they put in, was really the hard work. I think this is the tedious work. This is the frustrating work. This is the part where the work isn't really so much fun anymore.
Right.
It's fun to have a poster making party and get everybody to come out and stand together and chant and sing and go on the news and make a point about something and get attention. That's fun.
Right.
It's not fun writing compliance documents. It's not fun writing, white papers to the commission to make sure that they understand what the problem is or what their possible solution to this problem, what problems that creates for 5 other, players in the space. So it's different work. It's not as fun, and it really does need to be done, but it's tedious. It's a lot of, well, okay, if we support this regulation, how does it affect XYZ? And it's a lot of that at this point. So
right.
It's time consuming. And, fewer people have the skill sets needed to complete this type of work.
Right, because it becomes down, more legal stuff. And
yeah,
exactly right. But
you
guys
have to have those really good writing skills, and you have to have those really good presenting skills. And so, I think that, it's just more tedious work, but, it's got to get done. And as long as everybody is participating to the best of their abilities, then we'll have a really great law. I mean, so far, I'm generally happy with how things are working out in Massachusetts. Nobody wants it to move any more slowly. That's for sure.
Right. Right. Well, you are getting.
I guess in a couple of weeks we're gonna be able to go to Northampton in New England Treatment Access in Northampton and buy some weed with our driver's license.
Well, that's what I've heard.
That's cool.
Yes, that's what I've heard, and it would be Netta that would be the first one, right?
Yeah, so Netta got theirs, and let's see, I think was it Curaleaf got theirs as well?
I think Curaleaf got the other one, yeah.
And then two of the labs in Massachusetts have their finals.
One is did yours? Oh yeah, let's go into that. EVO Labs. That's where you are now, right?
So yes, and in February of 2018, I was hired by Evio Labs, and we are a cannabis testing company. We have 12 labs in 5 states and 2 countries, and we test a significant amount of the cannabis here throughout the United States. So that's really cool to work for such a big team. Going from such a NIC was our little house.
Right.
To this big company that has departments, and it's very different. But I very much enjoyed. I think this is a really great company. I'm really proud to be working with them, and I'm excited for the Massachusetts market to really get going. We do not have our final license. The MCR Labs has their license, and then CDX in Salem have their licenses.
Proverity didn't get it, huh?
There are a couple more labs trying to come into the Massachusetts market right now. So
now these labs are already, like, I know MCR was already approved for medical. This was for recreational now. This is for adult use cannabis. There's a whole separate set of standards, correct?
So there's a separate application. The original application for labs went through the Department of Health because the entire medical marijuana program was through the Department of Health. But the Cannabis Control Commission will take custody of all medical marijuana programs before the end of the year. So the labs had to reapply to the commission. So currently, I believe MCR and CDX hold 2 licenses, one through the DPH, the Department of Health, and one through the CCC. And then there's another lab in Milford called Proverde. They hold a medical
only, right?
A medical license for testing medical marijuana for now. And I believe Evio will be the first lab in Massachusetts to be. And now I'm not, barring no, crazy scenarios or problems with the application, I believe it will be the first lab that the commission approves that did not have approval previously. And we're in the process of building a brand new 5,000 square foot lab in Framingham. So, putting in a whole bunch of new equipment, and it's going to be, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be great.
That's great. That's great to hear, yeah. Kara. So you're in the education and the testing game. That's great.
Yeah, I don't touch the plant if I can help it.
No, that's true. Neither ones are involved in touching the plant. So, Kara, how do people get in touch with you? I mean, not with you, but with Elevate and all the things you're involved with. Let's say somebody wanted to learn a little bit more about your educational programs up there. How would they get in touch with you?
ElevateNE.org.
Okay.
Start with that, our website. And my email is really easy. It's kara.crab.burnham@gmail. Everybody's got it. Don't worry. If you want to tell me something,
okay,
send me an email. Evio, is Kara@Evio. So if you have questions about lab testing, I think that one of the most exciting things about Evio for Massachusetts is that because we have labs everywhere, we have people who have been testing all kinds of interesting, innovative products, cannabis derivative products throughout the country. So, if you have an idea about how something might work and you want to do some R&D and testing it and figuring out dosage and how to bring this product to market, we can do that R&D with you. And we have, I think it's like 12 or 15 PhDs company-wide. So we can figure it out.
That's good to know.
Who already knows or can figure it out.
Well, that's good to know. See, so anybody who wants to develop a product, contact EVO Labs, and they can help you bring it to market. So that's another service that you
figure out how to get it right, how to get it ready.
Great,
definitely.
Well, as you know, Kara, we're doing some classes down here as well, and maybe we'd love to have you come down and teach something. Do a little program down here.
Would love to.
Once we get it together down here, get a little bit more of an industry. Right now we only have a medical industry and it's kind of small and restricted. But if our new governor does what he says, we should be joining you guys soon.
Excellent. The whole of New England would be very nice if we were all just legal.
Yes, it would. And then we can just travel back and forth and hang out with each other.
But we can't talk about it on the radio because of the federal laws.
Exactly.
So we'll fix those too.
Exactly right. And that was all hypothetical what we said anyway. So
wouldn't that be nice?
Yes. All right, Kara, it's always a pleasure talking to you. And hopefully, like I said, we'll get you down here soon to teach a class or do an educational program.
We'll do for sure.
All right.
Thanks for having me on today.
It was a pleasure.
To you, Joe.
All right. Take it. Great talking to you, Kara.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Uncle Lou being quiet over here today, trying to figure out why Facebook is down. Is it back up, Harry? It's back up. So now we are on the air. We've been broadcasting. What happened?
We're just not up there right now.
Yeah,
we're not on live.
We're not on live now, but Facebook finally came back up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we're still streaming on all the other networks.
Yeah, we named them all. Oh, let me do this here.
Yeah.
You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We are also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent or go to your Facebook page and look us up.
Yes, sir.
So that was nice talking to Kara.
It is. She's always awesome to speak to.
Yeah, she's got a lot of great energy, and I'll tell you, she did make a lot of stuff happen. She's very modest about it, but she was very important.
Nice.
In the legalization game up there. But, we talked a lot about education, and speaking of education, we had our final cooking class this weekend, class of our vocational training series. And we had a cooking class. We had a great turnout. We had about 12 people.
That was awesome, Joe. And there was a lot of newer people. So there was about 4 or 5 new
couple extra people who came in.
There were people that kind of missed this session. So they'll be back in for next go around.
Yep. So,
for those makeup classes, which is always a nice thing for people to know that if they do miss one of the 4 classes,
that we run them
at
least 4 times a year.
That's right. And we honor it. And we'll continue going
forward.
Yeah,
I even have some people from this class who did miss, and they're going to have to move over. But that's fine. That's why you continually run them.
Yeah.
So we did announce our next set.
Yes, we did.
We'll be starting on January 12th.
Which is nice because we have another month and a half we can promo some of that for.
Get people signed up.
Yep.
So January 12th will be the commercial cultivation class with Ellen Brown. And then
we've had this is now going to be our 3rd go around.
This will be the 3rd one,
3rd go around, which means that there's going to be about 30 people that are certified with the certification at the end of that one, and
6
there's going to be some people.
Time.
Yeah,
at least 10 were complete
through
packages this time.
And as it continues to grow, the community
the full
grows.
15 people. Yeah, we get 20, 30
grows,
people.
And this gives you your base group for hiring,
and we'll build off it because look, if laws change, then we can teach more.
Oh yes,
you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
I mean, this is right now. I've put a very limited kind of course selection out there, only because the Connecticut market is so limited. But I think next year,
we're still speaking positive about everybody. We love everybody.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying it's small. It's a small market. There's not a ton of opportunity, so. There's only certain classes you want to teach that apply to this market.
Correct.
Like, why teach home cultivation, which I'd love to teach.
Exactly.
When you're not allowed to do it.
No. So I think we have a good thing going. And then the last class was very receptive by everybody. We got a lot of positive reviews from the cooking class.
So much so that we decided to do a special holiday cooking class in December on the 8th. At the same location over at 178 Temple Street.
With Joe, and he'll be able to get you all that information.
Info at ctcanconsulting.com.
That's right.
That's going to be a special holiday cooking class, and we're going to do a gravy. We're going to do some holiday cookies.
Yep.
Some caramel sauce. And a special salad dressing.
And just a salad dressing. And we're going to make a CBD version of it, so that way we can actually cook in-house.
Yep. We'll be using CBD-infused oil, can't THC.
Yep. We're gonna, it's always nice because nowadays with hemp, all the testing comes with everything.
Right.
So it's really cool. We have a couple minutes, Joe. So it's nice that.
Well, Harry told me he's not going on the air today, so we actually may be able to go a little bit longer.
Steal 5 minutes.
We're stealing 5 minutes from here. Now I was hoping Kebra called in because I wanted to,
she's busy, man.
Talk with her. Working. Yeah, well, you know what she's got today? I just realized she's got the Veterans Day.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Special going on where she's actually certifying veterans for free.
Which is awesome.
Today, so I'm sure she's got.
We definitely excuse her for not being here today because she really has. She's doing a really good thing offering those free certifications in Hartford.
Yeah.
So she's done in the past. She's done free certifications in New Haven. She's done free certifications, but now in Hartford. So that's pretty awesome.
So yeah, I wanted to talk to her about the grand opening, which I went to on Friday, which was very, very nice.
Yep.
We had Senator McCrory there.
Yes, sir.
And it was very nice. Good at turnout. The offices are really beautiful. On a nice street there, actually.
That street is a full business street. It's absolutely awesome.
It's it's a brick street, and I heard in the summertime they close it down and they do special events.
Yep.
It's got cool restaurants around there, so it's in an up and coming area, and I think she's going to do real well there. So those of you who don't know, that's Canna Health is now in Hartford, and she had a great grand opening the other night. And if you are a veteran and you have some time, there's still a couple hours left. You want to take a ride up to Hartford and get certified for your medical marijuana card, Canna Health offices will do it for free. And if you bring a veteran and you want to get your card, you take 25% off if you're not a veteran.
It's awesome.
So, I mean, those are the kind of things Kebra does. So, yeah, like you said, we'll excuse her for not being here this week. But one thing I did want to talk about is that Connecticut finally did add the another qualifying condition.
Another
to
set of lists, yeah.
Yeah, it was the chronic neuropathic pain that they actually passed only about 2.5, 3 months ago. I was at the hearing when they passed it. And for once, they finally actually put it on the list real quick.
Yeah.
Because I know the last set of 4, I think they did 4 conditions at once, took them almost 2 years to get on the list, even though they approved them a year before. But this one they got pretty quickly. So that's neuropathic chronic back pain. It's kind of like fibromyalgia, but it's more the way they used to have the back pain law. You had to have had a surgery or a traumatic accident
and
to
it was
get on.
Pain management-ish kind of. Yeah,
but this generalizes it more
pre-surgery.
Yeah, so for people who don't have this, so that's a good thing. There's a lot of people, and I think what they did was kind of to compensate for the fact that they did not put opioids on there.
Yeah.
Because they know a lot of people who are on opioids are using it for this reason. So I think it'll help a lot of people with back pain who are on opioids. So it's a good thing. So that's now 31 conditions on the medical marijuana program here in Connecticut. And we're now up to 29,500 patients. So we're almost at that 30,000 mark with patients. Yeah.
Wow.
So they got to get it's the same as usual. The same thing I'm hearing from most people is the shortage of medicine. The fact that, I went to the dispensary the other day because they finally got some Biscay in. And the guy said to me, hey, Joe, we haven't seen you in a while. What's up? I said, well, you don't have the medicine I want all the time. I said, you notice I'm here. You know why I'm here? Because you got the Biscay in.
Yeah.
And I said, if you had the Biscay in all the time, you might see me a little more often.
Yeah.
But I come here and maybe I'll get it twice and then it's not here for another 2 months. So, there's certain strains that work well for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to do. And it's the same with a lot of other people. But we do have some events coming up. Today was kind of a weird day. I guess we were half on the air, half not. And, and Facebook went down. So you're going to have to listen to this episode on SoundCloud if you want to hear the whole thing.
We will push the episode on SoundCloud as much as we can. Because we like pushing this episodes, pushing these shows. We get online. We get about 400 or 500 people that come to just click and watch this show.
Get them to start sharing it. We'd be good.
We will. That's where we're kind of going with it. So even if you're on whichever service, Twitch is one of those
just
good
share,
ones. Share. It doesn't cost anything.
Share the wealth. It's free. One click of the button. That's right. Anyway, on November 28th, Connecticut Normal will have its monthly meeting. We're going to discuss our holiday fundraiser, which is going to be on December 20th.
Nice.
So that's going to be at Terminal 110.
Very nice.
People put that on your calendar, December 20th. the Connecticut Normal fundraiser at Terminal 110. I believe we're going to be doing cannabis karaoke as part of it.
And, there'll probably be somebody taking pictures with nice props. Or if not, there'll be a backdrop where you can take some pictures. I'll bring
we'll have
my
some
backdrop,
fun with
whatever.
Then December 8th, we have December 5th, the Medical Marijuana Support Group. And that is going to be at Bohemian High in Milford. That's from 7 to 9 p.m. I can't believe we're already getting into December events.
We are.
And then on the 8th, of course, we have our holiday-infused cooking. And that's going to be at 10 o'clock. And that's at 178 Temple Street. And if you want info on that, you can check us out on Facebook. Or you can hit me up at info@ctcanconsulting.com.
And that's going to be a great cooking class.
Yes. So I don't have much more for today. Do you, Uncle Lou?
No, I'm pretty excited. I just want to say thank you again to everybody. And for those vets that are out there, we'll throw a couple shout outs by
Sarah
name.
Stenoff.
We'll say Sarah,
Paul.
We have I have a friend John. I have another friend Harry.
Ellen
Harry,
Brown.
Ellen. A lot of good people. Our buddy Lupino.
Your buddy from
the Terp Doctor.
Yes, the Terp. I don't know their names.
A lot of guys. A lot of good people. A lot of guys and gals.
Jim Preston. Neva.
But bless you all. Neva Alternative Veterans Healing.
Yes.
Big shout out to all you guys.
Shout out to all your veterans, all your service.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Spark up.
Enjoy. Take care of that PTSD.
All right.
See you next week.
We won't go far. Blue sherbet stuff to hold y'all. 100 P's on the Bay Bridge, stuck in traffic. If I ever run into Riri, let's make magic. Die doing something you love, it ain't tragic. Heard what I said, it ain't tragic. From the home of lay down, smoking ratchets. Never win when you spell it backwards. I got green in the bay, my whole team Packers. Hold the plug, I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's.